Hello friends, in this lecture we will see the moving iron instrument or MI instrument. The content are types of instruments, general torque equation, classification of moving iron instrument, construction of attraction type instrument, construction of repulsion type instrument, shape of scale of moving iron instrument, advantages, disadvantages, errors in the moving iron instrument. So these are the contents of this lecture. The learning objective. The construction of moving iron instrument. What are the different parts of the moving iron instrument? Attraction type and repulsion type. Then working principle of both attraction and moving iron type instrument. The general torque equation for this moving iron instrument. Then comparing this moving iron instrument with other types of instruments. So these are learning objectives. So we'll start with the basics of MI instrument, the basic concept. Okay. So in this instrument, okay, so these are used most commonly for the ammeter and voltmeters, current or voltage measurement purpose for both AC and DC. These instruments are cheap as compared to the other type of instruments. Okay. So there are different types of instruments. PMMC, permanent magnet moving coil instrument, which is used for DC supply only. Then moving iron, electrodynamometer type instrument, hot wire type instrument, thermocouple, induction type instrument, electrostatic and rectifier type instrument. Okay. So as compared to all these types of instrument, these moving iron instrument, they are very cheap. Okay. Now in this instrument, the plate or vane is used. Okay. Plate or vane is used. Okay. Then this vane is placed near a stationary coil. Okay. So when we connect this stationary coil to the measuring quantity, okay, and when the current is flowing through this stationary coil, okay, the magnetic field is generated. Okay, magnetic field is generated, and based on the right hand rule, so we can find out the direction of this magnetic field lines. Okay, and north and south poles are formed because of this magnetic field. Okay. So when this field is generated because of this measuring quantity flowing through this stationary coil, okay, the north and south poles are also formed on this iron piece, soft iron piece. Okay. And because of this south and the north pole of this south pole of this stationary coil or this magnetic field, and north pole on the soft iron piece, okay, so they will attract each other. They will attract each other. Okay. Or this this soft iron piece will try to move toward this magnetic field, or it will try to move in the lower reluctance path. Okay, or it will try to follow the minimum reluctance path. And because of this south and north pole, so the force or the torque will be produced on this disc, and it will move towards the stationary coil, or it will move in the magnetic field generated by the stationary coil. Okay. So in this way, there is a movement of this soft iron piece. Okay. So and the torque will be generated and it will move. Okay. So here the linear motion is shown. Okay. Now second, if the direction of this current is reversed. Okay, so which is shown by this green arrow. Okay, the current flowing through this stationary coil will reverse. Okay, so the magnetic flux lines, they will reverse, and the south and north poles are formed. Okay, so the polarity of this stationary magnetic field will be changed, which is shown by this green color, and at the same time the south and north poles are formed on these soft iron pieces. Okay, again here the north and south, they are opposite pole. Again there is a force of attraction between this magnetic field and the soft iron piece. Okay, and the force or the torque will be generated, and this magnetic this iron piece will be moved toward the magnetic field. Okay, so this is the basic concept or the basic principle of this moving iron instrument. Now in this stationary magnetic field, the because of this current flowing through this coil, the EMF will be generated, and number of flux they are fixed, d phi by dt. Okay, so from say 0 to maximum value or maximum quantity to be measured. Okay, so this EMF will be induced. Okay, and this flux generated by this coil. Okay, so it will depend on the flux, the density of this iron core and the area of this core. Okay, and this flux density is nothing but the HI. Okay, so mu n I multiplied by cross sectional area upon L. Okay, and this is a flux, they are replaced by this EMF equation. So mu n square A upon L di by dt. Okay, and E is equal to minus L, and this part mu n square A upon small l is nothing but the inductance. Okay, so this is a stationary. Permeability of this disc is constant, and number of turns they are constant, area is fixed, length is fixed. Okay, and this is nothing but the inductance of the coil. Okay, so this L is equal to mu n square A upon L Henry, and L upon mu A is a reluctance. So this reluctance is inversely proportional to the L. Okay, as the reluctance decreases, so inductance increases. So when this this iron piece will move toward the stationary coil, so the reluctance will change. So it will try to follow the minimum reluctance path. As the reluctance will change, the inductance of this stationary coil will change. Okay, now we will see the torque equation. Okay, so energy relation can be considered for deriving this torque equation. Okay, for a small increment in the current results in a small deflection. Okay, so small current is flowing through this coil. Okay, so which will generate the magnetic field, and because of this magnetic field, so there is an attraction of this iron piece. Okay, so it is a stationary, but the arrangement is made in such a way that the this iron piece will move in the angular direction. Okay, so small deflection is there, and for deflection, so there is some mechanical work done. Okay, some mechanical work done, and because of this, so there is a deflecting torque TD. Okay, so this mechanical work done is nothing but the torque generated on this spindle, on this moving system, and because of this there is a angular displacement. Okay, so mechanical work done is nothing but TD multiplied by d theta. Okay, now we will see the initial condition. The current I flowing through this coil. Coil is having inductance L, and there is a deflection theta. Okay, now this current is increment or increased by a small quantity di, and with this change in di there is a deflection d theta, and with this change in the deflection, so this angular because of this angular moment, so this iron piece will move inside the magnetic field, and because of that there is a change in the inductance dl. Okay, so with this increment in the current, there is a deflection, there is a change in the inductance. Okay, and because of this the applied voltage is also increased. Okay, the applied voltage must be increased by E is equal to D by dt of Li, because inductance is also changed and current is also changed. Okay, so with this change in L and I, the voltage is increased. Okay, but L also changes with the moment. How this L is changed? Generally we are writing this equation E is equal to L di by dt, but in this case this inductance is also changed because this iron piece will move inside the coil. Okay, so because of this the reluctance will change, and with this change in the reluctance this inductance is also changed. Okay, so this Li, there is also change. Okay, now with this derivation d u multiply by v, so we can write E is equal to I dl by dt plus L di by dt. Okay, now electrical energy. So this is a voltage. Work done means we have to convert this work done or this torque and deflection in terms of energy. Okay, so we multiply this EMF by current and time on both sides of this equation. So E I dt is equal to I square dl dt will get cancelled plus IL di by dt. Okay, so stored energy W is equal to 1/2 Li square. The energy stored in the inductance. Okay, so is equal to 1/2 Li square. So 1/2 multiply by this equation L plus dl, inductance, initial inductance and the change in the inductance. Similarly, change in the current I plus change in the current di bracket. Okay, so change in energy stored is given by, okay, so initial final condition minus initial condition 1/2 L plus dl in another bracket I plus di bracket square minus initial energy stored 1/2 Li square. Okay, so this bracket is expanded here. Okay, so as di and dl are very small. Okay, so there is a small increment in the current. Okay, so with this there is a small change in the inductance. Okay, so neglecting this second and higher order terms, okay, because they are having the small quantities. Okay, so this equation change in the stored energy becomes current multiplied by inductance di plus 1/2 I square dl. Okay, so after simplification of this previous equation, okay, so we get IL di plus 1/2 I square dl. Okay, now from the law of energy conservation or the principle of conservation of energy, okay, so electrical energy is equal to increase in the stored energy plus mechanical work done. Okay, so what is the electrical energy? I square di plus IL di, which is equal to increased in the energy. This is increased energy IL di plus 1/2 I square dl plus mechanical work done, torque multiplied by deflection. Okay, multiplied by deflection Td d theta. Okay, now after simplification of this equation, so we get 1/2 I square dl is equal to Td d theta. Okay, so these are the similar terms, they will get cancelled from both side LHS RHS, and the equation is 1/2 I square dl is equal to Td d theta. Okay, now we require the deflecting torque Td, the torque generated on the moving system. Okay, deflecting torque Td. Okay, so Td is equal to 1/2 I square dl by d theta. Torque is in Newton meter. current in ampere, inductance is in Henry, and theta in radians. Okay. So TD is equal to 1/2 I square dl by d theta. Okay. So the moving system is provided with the controlling spring. So as you know, so the spring control, then gravity control, so they are provided, okay, for this moving system. Okay, so for this the springs are used. Okay, so these springs will control the torque. These springs will control the torque, and Tc is equal to k theta. K is a constant of spring material. Okay, and theta is a deflection in radians. So this deflecting torque is balanced by this controlling torque. Okay, so at final steady state position, so when we connect this instrument for the measurement purpose, so from 0 to final steady state value, so when current is settled down, so this Tc is equal to Td. Okay, Tc is equal to steady at the equilibrium condition, so that there is no oscillations in the pointer or in the moving system. Okay, so this spring will balance the deflecting torque. Okay, so we substitute this Tc and Td. Tc is equal to k theta and is equal to Td 1/2 I square dl by d theta. Okay, and we'll find out deflection theta. Okay, which is equal to 1/2 I square by k dl by d theta. Deflection theta is equal to 1/2 I square by k multiplied by dl by d theta. Okay, and from this equation of deflection or theta, okay, so this 1/2 is a constant, k is a constant of the control spring, which is in Newton meter, and dl by theta. So we, for time being, we assume this dl by d theta is also constant. Okay, so deflection is a proportional to the square of the RMS value of the operating current. Okay, I, theta is a proportional to I square. Okay, theta is proportional to I square, and as we see in the basic principle in the animation. Okay, so the unidirectional, okay, so this deflection is unidirectional whatever may be the polarity of the current. Okay, if the direction of current is changes through the stationary coil, the deflection is unidirectional. Deflection is unidirectional. Okay, so theta is a proportional to square of the current flowing through this coil, stationary coil, and theta is a unidirectional. Okay, apart from the polarity of the current flowing through the coil. Now in the in terms of pole strength and field strength, okay, so we see M is a pole strength, okay, and H is a field strength generated by the stationary coil. Okay, so instantaneous deflecting torque or force F is a proportional to pole strength multiplied by field strength MH. Okay, and the pole strength is a proportional to the field strength. M is a proportional to H, and this force becomes H square, and this field strength is a depending on the current flowing through the stationary coil. So H is a proportional to I, and this H is replaced by I. Okay, so deflecting torque or force is a proportional to I square. Okay, and deflecting torque is a proportional to I square. Okay, so F is replaced by TD, so TD is proportional to I square, and the controlling torque is a proportional to theta, angular displacement of the moving system or the pointer. Okay, and deflecting torque is balanced by the controlling torque at the equilibrium or at the steady state condition. Tc is equal to Td, and this deflection theta, and this Tc theta is a proportional to I square. Okay, theta is proportional to I square. Okay, so there is a linear relation. Okay. So classification of moving iron instrument. Okay, so based on the construction, so these instruments, they are classified as a attraction type instrument, second repulsion type instrument. Further, this repulsion type instrument, they are classified as a radial vane type and coaxial vane type instrument. Okay. Now we'll start with the construction of the attraction type instrument. Okay. So there are various parts of this attraction type instrument. Okay. So first there is a stationary coil. So this is a stationary coil. Okay. So in this square wheel is a stationary. So this is a vertical cross sectional view of the attraction type instrument. Okay. Then second there is a soft iron piece. Okay. This is oval shape is a soft iron piece. Okay. This is the first initial without current position, and this will move in inward side. Okay. So this is moving iron, soft iron piece. Spring or gravity control. Okay. So vertical or panel type instrument where there is a spindle is a horizontal. Okay. The spindle is horizontal. So for that, this gravity or balance weight or the control weights are provided. Okay. For the controlling purpose. Okay. And for the vertical spindle arrangement, the spring is provided. Okay. So for that, springs or gravity is mentioned here. So balance weight, control weight for gravity control, and a spring for the vertical spindle. Okay. Then for the damping purpose, okay, for the damping purpose, to damp down the oscillations, okay, of this moving system, so air damping is provided. Okay, air friction damping is provided. Okay, so it is shown small aluminum cylinder is there. Okay, and there is a small clearance so that the because of this friction, okay, so oscillations are died out. Okay. Then there is a pointer. Then scale is there for measurement of current. Okay. So the current flowing through this coil is calibrated in terms of a scale. Okay. So which will measure the current or voltage. Okay. So this deflection is calibrated in terms of current or voltage. So which can be measured on this scale. Okay. Then there is a spindle. Okay. So on this spindle, it is placed in a J1, J2 jewel bearings. Okay. Carbon bearings. Okay. And on this moving, on this spindle or this moving system, S1, S2 springs are provided for the controlling of this torque. Okay. So when the current or voltage is removed, so this controlling spring will bring this pointer to its original position. Okay. So this is the construction of this moving iron system. So there is a stationary coil. There is a soft iron piece is there. Okay. So controlling springs are provided. Okay. For vertical spindle. Then weights are provided for the horizontal spindle. Air damping is provided for the soft or steady movement. Okay. The pointer and scale is provided for the measurement purpose, and spindle is provided. Okay. So for the movement of this system. Again, these are the pictorial cross sectional view. Okay. Scale, pointer, air friction damping, coil, weight. Okay. Then this is a moving iron piece. Now we'll start with the working of this attraction type moving iron instrument. Okay. Stationary coil. Okay. This is the side view, cross sectional view, and in this animation, so this moving piece of iron is placed here. Okay, so one end of this piece is connected here through this spindle. Okay, so this is a eccentric type connection. It is not connected at the center of this coil. Okay, so with this spindle, this pointer is connected. Okay, so when we connect this meter, or when we switch on the supply for measurement of current or voltage, okay, so current is flowing through this coil. For measurement of voltage, the proportional current is flowing through this coil, okay, and the magnetic field is produced, okay, magnetic field is produced, okay? And with this magnetic field, okay, so this iron piece will get attracted inside the magnetic field, okay, or which will try to follow the minimum reluctance path, okay. So this control torque is provided by two hair springs, okay, so which is not shown here, but this spring will provide the control, okay. So gravity control can also be used, so as discussed, okay. So this controlling action is provided by this control spring or the gravity control, depending on the arrangement of spindle they are provided, okay. So then damping torque is also provided by using this air friction damping, okay, so to avoid the oscillations in the moving system, okay. So as the magnitude of current to be measured is increased through this stationary coil, so the magnetic field strength is also increased, H is also increased, and the pole formed on this iron, soft iron piece, is the strength of this pole is also increased, okay. So this much amount of force will be developed on this iron piece, okay. So M multiplied by H, okay, and M is proportional to H square, okay, and H is a proportional to the current flowing through this coil, okay. So as the magnitude of current increases, so this is the movement of this iron piece, okay, this is the movement of the iron piece. As the magnitude of, there is no current, so this is the initial position. As current increases, this iron piece will move inside, as again current more increases. So with this, the this iron pieces get attracted in the magnetic field, okay. As the magnitude of this field increases, the movement of this iron piece is also increased, and this pointer will move, or the deflection theta is also increased, okay. So the current in the fixed coil is reversed. So the current in the fixed coil is reversed. So the polarity induced on the vane is also reversed, okay. And scale can thus be calibrated, okay. So there is no effect of the change of direction of current through this stationary coil, okay. So which will give the unidirectional movement, or the unidirectional torque will be generated on this iron piece, okay. And this scale is calibrated in such a way that, so which will give you a direct the magnitude of current flowing through this coil, okay. The measured quantity directly you can read on the scale, okay, either in terms of current or in terms of voltage, okay. So in this way, this attraction type instrument is work. Now we will see the construction of repulsion type instrument, okay. For this repulsion type instrument, okay, so there are two type of construction, radial vane and coaxial vane, okay. So again, similar to attraction type instrument, there is a coil, stationary coil, okay. So this is the coil, here there is a circular coil, okay. So in this case, there are two vanes, there are two metal pieces, okay. There are two metal pieces. In the attraction type, there is only one oval shape iron piece is there, but in this case there are two metal pieces. Okay, so this is fixed, okay, and another one is movable. Okay. So here this NS, this is a fixed, and this rectangular is a movable, which is connected to the spindle, moving spindle. Okay, so in this case there are two vanes, one is fixed and another one is movable, okay, which is connected to the spindle. Okay. Then second one is spindle. This vertical line will show the spindle. Okay, then at this vertical spindle the pointer is connected. Okay, below the pointer there is a scale. Okay, and similar to attraction type, there are two type of controlling torque is provided by using the spring or the gravity control and the air damping is provided to die down the oscillations in the moving system. Okay, so these are the parts: coil, then two vanes, one is fixed, another is moving, one is fixed, another is moving. Okay, then there is a pointer, scale, spring or gravity control weights, balance and control weights are provided. Okay, and air damping is provided. Okay, so there are radial vane. Okay, radial means one iron piece is fixed, another one is moving. Okay, so there is a moving. Okay, so the distance between two iron pieces is increased. Distance between two iron pieces is increased. Okay, in this case, so there is a movement. So this is a fixed or stationary vane, and this is a moving vane. So this moving vane, the axis of this both stationary and moving vane is same. Okay, but as this moving vane is increased, so the H will change. The H will change. As the area will change, the H will change. Okay, or the field strength will change between this fixed vane and the moving vane. Okay, so coaxial. So axis is the same, only the area is a change. Okay, so this is the difference between radial vane and coaxial vane type instrument or the repulsion type instrument. Okay, now we will see the construction in details. Okay, so there is a coil, so current is entering and current is moving, okay, through this coil, and current is leaving. Okay, so this is a coaxial type. Okay, so this is a curved fixed iron piece, curved piece. Okay, this is a fixed, and on this spindle this another moving iron piece is connected. Okay, so this is a circular moving iron piece is connected. Okay, so here the air damping is shown here. Okay, these are the control springs. Okay, pointer and scale. Okay. So this axis is same for both fixed and moving vane. Okay, on this the poles are generated. See here, the in green circle S south poles are shown here. Here north poles are shown here. Okay, and this is the moving vane. As the moving vane moves, okay, it will move. Okay, so the field strength between these two will change. Okay, and this south pole they will repel each other. North pole they will repel each other, and in this way these two vanes they will move. They will repel each other. Okay, they will repel each other. Okay, so this is called as a repulsion. Now we'll see detail in the construction. In the working. So these are the various parts of the repulsion type instrument. Okay, now we'll see the working. Okay. Now in this case, stationary coil, fixed vane, moving vane is connected to the spindle. So this is a fixed vane and movable vane. So this is the first position of this movable vane. Okay. So when we connect this meter or when we switch on the supply, so the measured quantity will start moving through this coil. Okay. So which will establish the north and south pole. North is shown by red, south is shown by blue. So this is a magnetic flux. Okay. And with this, the magnetic poles, they are generated in this fixed vane. At the same time, these north and south poles, they are also generated because of this magnetic field in the movable vane. Okay, in the movable vane. So this fixed vane and movable vane, so there is a north poles, they are generated, and this north pole of fixed vane and north pole of movable vane, they will repel each other. South pole of fixed vane and south pole of this movable vane, they will repel each other. Okay. So these two iron pieces, they will repel each other because of the similar poles formed on both iron pieces, because of this magnetic field, Okay. So as the field strength increases or the current through this coil increases, okay, so it will move or it will repel to the second position. As the magnitude of current through this coil is increases, so it is replaced at the position 3. Okay. So this force of repulsion is a depend on the magnitude of current flowing through this coil. Okay. And this will increase the field strength, which will increase the pole strength generated on this iron vane. Okay. And based on this field strength, based on the pole strength generated on these iron pieces, so there is a repulsion between the two iron pieces. Okay. So here the linear movement is shown, but it can be done by this angular. So these are mounted on the spindle. Okay. So angular displacement can be generated. Okay. For understanding purpose, this linear is shown as we see in the construction. So which is mounted on the spindle. So there is a deflection. Okay. Again, for controlling purpose, gravity control is provided, spring control is provided to die down the oscillations or for to give the steady displacement or steady angular movement of the pointer. The damping is provided. Okay. So current in the fixed coil is reverse. Again, if the direction of current through this coil is reverse, then what happens? Okay. So again, the current increases. So fourth position is shown here. Okay. So if the direction of current is changes, so this pole becomes south, it becomes north, and on this iron pieces, it is south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, and in this way, as the direction of current is also changes through this coil, the pole formation on this iron vane is also changes, and they will repel each other. Okay, they will repel each other. Okay, but the deflection, it will depend on the repulsion force between the vane. Okay, and this repulsion force will depend on the current flowing through this stationary coil, magnitude of the current. Okay, based on this magnitude of current, the H field strength will depend. Based on this field strength, the pole strength M1 and M2 will change. Okay, so in this way, the repulsion type instrument is work. Okay. Now we'll see what is the shape of the scale. Okay. So in the torque we see theta is a proportional to the I square. Theta is a proportional to the I square. Okay, but the actual equation theta is equal to 1/2 multiplied by I square by k multiplied by dl by d theta. Okay. Now from the working of this instrument, attraction type or repulsion type, okay, so we see as the vein or this iron piece move, okay, so it will change the reluctance. With this change in the reluctance, the inductance of the coil will change. Inductance of the coil will change, okay, and at the same time there is a change in the deflection. There is a change in the deflection, okay. So as the magnitude of current to be measured is changed, so there is a change in the current I square. There is a change in inductance and there is a change in the theta, angular movement of the spindle, okay. So thus the angular deflection is a proportional to the square of the current, okay. So it is evident that the scale of such an instrument is non-uniform. Theta is a proportional to I square, okay. So there is a non-uniform scale, okay. So change of inductance with the angle of deflection is a uniform, okay. So this dl by d theta, this ratio is also uniform. This ratio is also uniform and it is denoted by A. It is denoted by A, okay. So to get this constant, 1/2 is constant and dl by d theta ratio is a constant, so that theta is a proportional to A square, okay. But this ratio is also changing, है ना. Scale can, this ratio dl by d theta, this ratio is also changing with the change in the deflection, with the change in the deflection, okay. So inductance is also changes and theta is also changes, okay. So scale can be easily laid as measured quantity is a proportional to the square root of deflection, है ना. Square root of theta is a proportional to I square, okay. But actually this ratio is not constant. dl by d theta is not constant. Thus scale is a distorted from the square law. If this ratio is constant, then theta is proportional to I square, but this dl by d theta is not a constant, okay. So to design and construct an instrument in such a way that, so this ratio dl by d theta should be constant or it will give you a uniform scale, okay. The necessary conditions relating to this dl by d theta against the deflection theta is given by this equation. Dl by d theta is equal to 2k theta by I square, okay. For linear scale, I is equal to c theta, where c is a constant and this I is replaced by this theta, okay. So dl by d theta is equal to 2k c square theta square. So square theta and this theta will get cancelled. So 2k upon c square theta, and theta is equal to d theta multiply dl by d theta is equal to constant, which gives the linear scale, okay. And this is not possible as we required dl by d theta to be infinite, है ना. So this theta should be 0. Theta should be 0, infinite at the initial scale, okay. So when the deflection is 0 or at the initial condition theta is 0, so dl by d theta is infinite. So in practice the scale is made linear from the maximum deflection down to about 1/10 of the maximum deflection. Yeah. So for the full scale, the 1/10 portion of this scale is cramped, okay, or it is compressed, okay. So the construction is the parameters are designed in such a way that only 1/10 portion of this maximum scale is made compressed, okay, and the remaining part is a say uniform. So the plot dl by d theta against theta over the range is a rectangular hyperbola as shown in figure, okay. So this is a 0, theta is a maximum scale. So 1/10 means 0.1 of theta is, then the remaining part is a linear scale. The deflecting torque is a proportional to the square of the current multiplied by the rate of change of inductance with the angle. The scale is compressed at its lower end because of this I square is a small relative to the full scale value and somewhat compressed at its higher end because of this range of rate of change of inductance with angle dl by d theta decreases rapidly. Okay. Means sometimes this scale is compressed at this 1/10 portion, okay, or sometimes with the decrease change in the inductance, okay, it is compressed at the higher end, but majority of instrument, so it is compressed at the lower end, okay. And what is the range of deflection? The scale is usable over a 80-degree length. So from 0 to 80 degree deflection is available, okay, on this scale. The scale distribution in case of radial weld, okay, a repulsion type instrument as induced pole strength of the magnetized, okay, means what is the shape of scale in attraction type and the repulsion type, okay. So previous in the last we discussed about the attraction type. Now we'll see the repulsion type instrument, okay. As the induced pole strength of the magnetized weld is a proportional to the current in the coil, the force between them is a proportional to the product of pole strength M1 and M2. Pole strength at north pole, pole strength at south pole, okay. So which will depend on the pole strength of the both iron pieces, okay. So it should vary as the square of the coil current, okay. However, and as we see M1 multiplied by M2 fixed iron piece, movable iron piece, M1 is a pole strength of fixed, M2 is a pole strength, okay. So M1 multiplied by M2. So again, which will depend on the field strength H square, and field strength is again depend on the current through the coil. So I square, okay. So however, as the distance between them, the vein increases, okay, distance between two veins increases, the force decreases, okay, and the force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Force is proportional to the inversely proportional between the M1 and M2, or the distance between the two plates or two veins, okay. So these effects tend to neutralize each other, and as a result the instrument scale is very nearly uniform, okay. So in the repulsion type instrument, as the length or the distance between M1 and M2 increases, and which is a proportional to the square, okay. So these instruments will give the uniform scale, okay. So in the case of coaxial cylinder type repulsion instrument, the scale distribution can be made similar to the radial vane type of instrument by tapering, okay. So to get the uniform scale in the coaxial type instrument, the fixed iron piece, okay, so which is given the tapering shape, okay. So at one end it is a decreasing, okay. So by changing this shape of this coaxial, okay, so we made this uniform scale, okay. So in the repulsion type instrument, so generally we give the uniform scale. In the attraction type of instrument, so scale is compressed 1/10 portion of full scale at the lower side, okay. Now we discuss about the errors in the moving iron instrument, okay. So hysteresis error, Okay. So area of flux density is different. Okay. So as the magnitude of current increases, okay, from 0 to its maximum value, or when decreases from its maximum value to lower value, okay. So the hysteresis loops are provided, okay, and there is a change in the hysteresis error. So when the current increases, when the current decreases, okay, and for the same magnitude of current, if current increases and decreases, for the same magnitude of current, during change in the current, the hysteresis generated is a different, okay, hysteresis generated is a different, okay. So hysteresis may produce 2 to 3 error, 2 to 3% error, okay, as current increases and current decreases, okay. Say for example 0 to 50 ampere ammeter is there, and if the current increases, okay, and say for 20 ampere magnitude, as current increases, the hysteresis generated when current increases for 20 ampere, it is a different, and when it is decreases from 50 to 0 at 20 ampere, the hysteresis error will be different, okay. So generally it is 2 to 3%. As current increases, decreases, the hysteresis error is a 2 to 3%. Temperature error. There is a effect of temperature on the spring material. As the temperature changes, the coefficient of this material or the stiffness of the spring material will be changes, and which will generate the error of 0.02% per degree centigrade, okay. And again there is a heat generated in the stationary coil because of the current flowing through this coil, okay. So this will generate the error caused due to the self heating of the coil and the series resistance connected in the voltmeter, okay. In the voltmeter, so we try to avoid the flow of current through this coil, okay. So we allow the current flowing in the proportional of the voltage through this coil, okay. So series resistance is connected. So because of this heating, self heating of the coil and the series resistance, the resistance increases, okay, by about 4 to 8%, and with this there is a change in the current, and with this change in the current, so magnetic field will be changed, and this will affect the deflection of the measured voltage, okay. So in this way the temperature errors are generated, okay. Then stray magnetic field, okay. So in this AC instrument or moving iron instrument, okay, so the field generated by the stationary coil, okay, so it is a weak as compared to the permanent magnets, okay. And because of this weak magnetic field, if we take this instrument in the say substation, okay, so this will affect, or this stray magnetic field will affect the measurement of this current or voltage by using this moving iron type instrument, okay. And we will get the distorted readings, okay. So there is a distortion into the deflection, okay. So this stray magnetic field will generate the errors in the moving iron instrument, okay. Frequency error. As the frequency changes, so which will cause the error due to the change in the reactance. So XL, inductive reactance, is equal to XL is equal to 2 pi FL. As frequency changes, this reactance of this coil will change, okay. So this will change the reactive drop, and due to this the magnitude of eddy current set up into the metal parts of the instrument, okay. So in the iron core of the coil, then this iron piece, okay. So in that the eddy current will be generated, and this eddy current will oppose to the quartz, okay, and this will affect the deflection of the moving system, okay. So change in the frequency, it will generate the error. Then this eddy current errors are caused by the eddy current, okay, induced in the iron parts of the instrument, okay. So this is a current to be measured, and because of this current, so EMF is induced in the iron part, okay, and because of this induced EMF by an angle theta E, the IE eddy current is induced in the iron part, okay, and if we resolve this eddy current, okay, so this is IE dash sin theta, IE dash sin theta, and this IE dash sin theta E, so which will oppose to the main current, okay, which will oppose to the main current to be measured, okay, and because of this, the reduced torque will be generated on the moving system, okay. So in this way, these are the errors: hysteresis error, temperature error, stray magnetic field error, frequency error, eddy current, okay. So these are the errors occurred in the moving iron instrument. Now what are the advantages? Okay, so these instruments can be used for both AC and DC instruments. Okay, so as we see, if the direction of current is a change in this meters, okay, so which will give you a universal directional torque is generated, okay. So this can be used for AC as well as DC measurement, okay. So errors due to the frictions are quite small, okay. So on this system there is only pointer, control springs or gravity weights are provided, okay. So as in PMMC instrument, so all these moving current carrying coil is provided, okay, so which is a bulky. So in this case, torque to weight ratio is high, and because of this high torque to weight ratio, the friction error are less as compared to the PMMC instrument, okay. So as compared to other type of instrument, these are relatively cheap, okay. So as we see the construction, so we don't require the permanent magnet, okay, or in the hot wire or rectifier type instrument, we have to convert AC quantity into DC, okay. So as compared to other type of instrument, the construction is very simple, and because of this simple construction, the overall cost of this instrument is very cheap, okay. So these instruments can be momentarily overloaded, okay. So if there is a fault and if the current is increased, so this instrument they can withstand for momentarily high current, okay, passing through this stationary coil. These instruments, they are robust owing to the simple construction, and also that there is no current carrying parts or moving parts. So overall these instruments are robust or rugged in the construction, okay. So these instruments, they are capable of giving an accuracy within the limit of both precision and industrial grades, okay. So as compared to the other type of instrument, the accuracy is more in this moving iron instrument, okay. So these are the advantages of moving iron instrument, okay. Now we'll focus on the disadvantages. As the deflection is proportional to I square, hence the scale of this instrument is not uniform, okay. So it is cramped at the lower end and expanded in the upper portion, okay. So it is affected by the stray magnetic field, okay. There is a hysteresis error in the instrument. The hysteresis error may be minimized by using vanes, okay. So we change the material of these vanes or these iron pieces by nickel iron alloy, okay. So when used for measuring AC, the reading may be affected by the variation of the frequency, okay. So due to change in the reactance of the coil, which has some inductance, with the increase in frequency, iron loss and the coil impedance is also increasing. Okay. So there should not be a large variation in the frequency. Okay. If there is a change in the frequency, so these instruments, they will give the error. Okay. So there is a difference between AC and DC calibrations on account of effect of the inductance of the meter and the eddy currents when the meters they used on the AC. Okay. So generally these instruments, they are calibrated for the AC measurement quantities or AC current or AC voltages. Okay. If we go for the different calibration, so there is a change, there is a effect of inductance, okay, and the eddy current in case of AC and DC. Okay. So generally these meters, they are calibrated for AC only. Now after studying this instrument, first we see the basic operation, then classification, construction of attraction type and repulsion type instrument, the working of attraction type and repulsion type instrument, then shape of scale, errors, okay, advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So the outcome, learning outcome of this moving iron instrument. Okay. So you can able to describe the construction of moving iron instrument. Okay. Then you can able to explain the working of this moving iron instrument. How, what is the construction of this moving iron instrument? How this moving iron instruments they can work, and you can derive the torque equation for this moving iron instrument. Okay, and from this you can explain why the scale is cramped at the lower end or at the 1/10th portion of this maximum scale. Okay, you can easily explain or you can list out the advantages, disadvantages of this moving iron instrument. Okay, and these ammeters for measurement of current, the ammeters they are connected in series. Okay. If the current is increased, so we can use the shunt, okay, to increase the range of this instrument. Okay. Voltmeters, they are connected in parallel. Okay. So small amount of current is flowing through this coil, so series resistance is connected in series with this coil. Okay. So you can able to connect the current and voltage, okay, measurement purpose this instrument. So while explaining this or while this moving iron instrument, so I refer the A.K. Shwani, then electrical and electronics measurement and instrumentation books, and some figures they are taken from the google.com for the explanation purpose. Okay. So these are the actual views. Okay. So these are the panel meters which are mounted in the electrical panel. Okay. Ammeter, voltmeter. So these are the laboratory instruments. So generally they are used in the horizontal purpose, kept on the table. Okay. So they are mounted in the vertical. Okay. So here scale is horizontal, here scale is vertical. Okay. So based on the arrangement of a spindle, the control spring is provided or the gravity control weights are provided. Okay, for these meters. Okay. And as you see, this is the symbol mentioned on the moving iron instrument. Okay, moving iron instrument. So there, this is the symbol on the moving iron instrument. Okay, so moving iron instrument, by seeing the scale, so if there is a symbol like this, So you can identify the moving iron instrument by using this symbol. So so easily you can identify the construction. So thank you for patience listening. Thank you once again and happy learning. Thank you.